Greetings, fellow humans. My name is Alistair Lord and I am the Renaissance Yorkshireman. Today I'd like to talk to you about the period of human history known as the Younger Dryas. And the Younger Dryas lasts for approximately 1200 years and is also sometimes known as the Mini Ice Age. So what was happening at the beginning of the Younger Dryas was that the planet was in an ice age, but it was gradually warming up over a period of thousands of years. And at the end of the Younger Dryas, the ice age finishes completely. This period of the Younger Dryas interrupts a gradual warming of the planet, brings it back so it's cooling down again for a period of 1200 years, and then it ends quite abruptly rather than gradually over a period of hundreds of years. The causes of the Younger Dryas have been disputed, but evidence put forward in such peer-reviewed journals as The New Scientist since about 2007 indicate that evidence from the Greenland ice core of approximately 12,800 years ago of high levels of aluminium, platinum and iridium indicate that there was in fact a hit by a comet. And this is backed up with evidence from other parts of the world that there is a layer of nanodiamonds in multiple locations from this same time period that would also lend evidence to the idea that there was a comet impact or multiple fragments from a comet. So some scientists suggest that in fact there was 3 impacts from the same comet, one at the beginning, one at the end, and one sometime in the middle. And one of the things that this suggests is that actually the idea of a great flood, which is in the Bible and in other religious texts and from myths from different civilizations and cultures all around the world, is in fact true. And this evidence of a comet impact beginning the Younger Dryas and putting us into a mini ice age, ending the Younger Dryas and ending this ice age, and raising the temperature of the planet relatively quickly over a period of years or decades rather than centuries or millennia. And this will have changed the face of planet Earth. So imagine the North American ice cap is hit by a large fragment from a comet. This would be equivalent to perhaps several atomic bombs going off in terms of force, not radiation, but in terms of force, and this would have led to a kind of pulse of melted water going out into the world and a lowering of these ice caps. And it's also been suggested that at the end of this period coincides with the death of the megafauna, the extinction of the megafauna, such as the short-faced bear, the woolly rhino, the woolly mammoth, the mastodon, dire wolves and saber-toothed cats. So it may well be the case that humans may have played some role in their extinction, but the primary reason for their extinction was in fact the comet impact from the Younger Dryas. Something else which is quite interesting about the Younger Dryas is 12,800 years ago, when it began, also coincides with the dates that Plato gives for the destruction of Atlantis. So although there's no direct evidence for Atlantis, it's certainly circumstantial evidence that this can't be dismissed out of hand. Now, I don't want to talk here about whether Atlantis did or did not exist, but the part that interests me was that this would represent some kind of perhaps globalized superstate that existed rather than humans entirely living in non-state forms of tribes, bands and chiefdoms. The northern hemisphere fares worse than the southern hemisphere, and at this point of human history, during the Younger Dryas, humans had already spread out of Africa So there were human populations, Homo sapiens, in Eurasia and certainly in North America, and perhaps even also in South America. But it seems probable that for this duration of 1200 years, there were no states, or if perhaps there were states, they were very localized. But it may be that there were no states at all, and all humans lived in bands, tribes, and chiefdoms. So at the end of the Younger Dryas, it's been suggested there was another impact from the same comet that began the Younger Dryas. There was another pulse of meltwater from the European ice cap, and that the planet then warmed up relatively quickly, and it made it possible for agricultural societies to establish themselves. So the end of the Younger Dryas changes the face of planet Earth and our human relationship with the planet and the environment, because during the Younger Dryas, it's probable that all or almost all Homo sapiens were hunter-gatherers. There were no settled agricultural societies as far as we are aware. But after the Younger Dryas comes to an end, it is now possible to establish agricultural societies because the temperature of the planet has gone up and it is now more favourable for agriculture. So the end of the Younger Dryas sets the stage for history as we know it. Thank you for giving me your time today. Peace.